Welcome to 843 TV. I'm your host, Lisa Richardson.
And I'm Catherine Maedeman.
And today we're coming to you from the Osprey Village Thrift on Main.
And today we're going to actually sit down and speak to Julie Kuhns, who's the Director of Operations, and Channing Heiss, who's the Director of Communications.
Also, we'll be hearing from Mike Duncan, who's the manager of the thrift shop here on Main, as well as out in Okatee.
So stick around for 843 TV,
where communities come to speak.
.843 TV, where the Low Country comes to speak.
.843 TV,
where communities come to speak. Welcome to 843 TV. We are here at the Osprey Village Thrift Shop on Main Street, and here to share all about so many wonderful things about what they do is Miss Julie Kuhns. She's the Director of Operations. Thanks for having us today. We'd love to be back at the thrift shop and see all the cool things you've got going on here.
Thanks for coming. Make sure you shop afterwards.
We do. I did last time for
I know you did.
For those who are not aware of all that Osprey does, as far as the housing project, let's talk about who it services and what the big project is that you all are working on.
Okay, so Osprey Village, as far as our housing project, was actually developed as a means to address a major housing crisis for adults with developmental disabilities, autism, Down syndrome, and there's several other ones. In the state of South Carolina, there's about 5,000 individuals who have stepped forward and said, hey, I live with a caregiver who's 70 years of age and older and I don't have a place to go. Mm-hmm. So we are working on a 25-acre development. Locally, we have about 400 individuals in need of this type of housing, and we're hoping that in our first phase of development, we'll be able to serve at least 75 individuals housed in this development.
That's wonderful. Where is it located?
We are located on 170, just across the street from Oldfield. We're a part of that larger East Argent development.
So when do you think you'll be breaking ground?
Hopefully. In January. We're waiting right now. The larger developer is putting in the main roads and infrastructure. Mm-hmm. They're hoping to get that process done by the fall, at least back to where our site is, and between the fall and January we'd be able to start getting into our land.
Well, that's exciting, because one question for you is, along with this journey, fundraising, you have to build the capital for this.
Of course.
How are we doing on that project?
We have many irons in the fire financially. One of the things that we have going on right now to fund our general operations, we have to keep ourselves afloat, is a fundraiser that we have coming up on May 18th. It is a cruise. It's our first cruise. We're very excited about this. It's the Salty Dog Cruise. It's going to be from 6:30 to 8:30. Cocktails, some light hors d'oeuvres. And we do have information available on our website to purchase tickets, as well as raffle tickets to a whiskey tasting in Nashville, Tennessee. So it's a weekend excursion.
Oh, that's very fun.
Yeah, we're excited about it.
Well, now, besides the housing development, which is a huge project you're working on, what are some of the other services that you provide to your clients?
So all of the services that we provide have one major title, and that's independent living. Our goal is to help all of the people that we're servicing learn to live as independently as possible. Whether they're staying at home with their primary caregiver, mom and dad, or they move into independent housing, they need to learn things like doing laundry, how do I get transportation, cooking meals, budgets. And we're very hands-on in doing that. We have people working both in the home as well as in the community with these individuals. Reebok CrossFit is actually right over here behind us, and they do 3 days a week of CrossFit classes with our individuals as well.
So they can learn physical fitness too.
Absolutely, it's important.
Lifestyle.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that, because lifestyle is a big central theme of what we're doing. That's really the crux of the whole thing. The housing is part of it, the life skill training is part of it, but it's all about building a 360-degree multi-dimensional lifestyle, because that's what we all want. There's a universality to this that I want everyone to understand, because it's really about all of us.
And I think that well. He put that so well.
I did really well, and I think you want it for that person. You want them to have as much independence they can have, and you want to give them all the skills that we can do for them. So, how young does this program start? What's the age for the youngest?
Right now we're taking 21 years of age and older.
Okay.
We don't actually have anybody that age. Most of the individuals that we're working with are between 30s and 50s. And like Jane said, it is really about lifestyle. It's not just about the housing, because great, you build it, and then what?
Right.
You can
How do
put
you
a
budget? How do you
right.
take care of yourself
Right.
in the home?
And helping them to shape their individual lifestyle. So it's not just institutionalized, hey, we're going to give you this bulk lifestyle and spoon feed it to you. It's what do you want out of life and what's important to you. It's really, really important to us.
So the day in the life, what kind of services are we teaching or offering to the participants?
A day in the life, oh, I wish we had one of our program staff here, because they'd say running from one end of Beaufort County to the other. And to be honest with you, that's a lot of it. Transportation is a huge problem for our individuals right now. We have been teaching them how to use Uber. That was funded through a grant from the Community Foundation of the Low Country, which was so cool. We work with them on literally hands-on things like doing the laundry, going to the grocery store. Hey, mom and dad, you're not doing it anymore for them. They're going to do it for themselves as best as they can. Dating boundaries. I mean, these guys want to date too.
Sure.
You know, talking with them about what's appropriate, what's not appropriate. We're working on a women's reproductive health care education series, which is actually the first of its kind. And that was funded through Women in Philanthropy. They were big backers for that, to do that. So really it depends on, we look at it and say, okay, we're middle-aged people and we do this in our life, so how does that apply to these individuals? And we try to figure out how we can shape and mold that with them.
All of these services that you're providing for your clients are actually got to be a big relief for the caregivers themselves.
Absolutely, they are. I mean, you have to imagine that a lot of our caregivers are in their 70s, they're widows, and they're taking on immense amount of responsibility, having a special needs adult child who wants to have a life, so they're running them all over creation, and they're dealing with age-related disabilities themselves. So,
You know, I think that's great. We're going to pick up on that conversation when we get back. This is 843.